And somebody says, well, what's wrong with being a plumber? I said, absolutely nothing's wrong with being a plumber. Nothing's wrong with flipping burgers. Nothing's wrong with anything, unless you don't want to flip burgers, unless you don't want to be a plumber, unless you don't want to be in that daily grind.
Once you experience the time freedom, you will sacrifice money for time freedom.
Hell yeah.
Making money, man, and being a champion and warring that shit up, it's like riding a bike. Once you know how to do it, you know how to do it. Like if you fucking lost everything right now, your skills, your mindset, and your work ethic is gonna go out there and you're gonna get it right back.
But that goes to show you that somebody that's hungry, that's found another way to have massive success. To have massive success, you have to have massive action.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the DNG podcast. And man, I got my brother from another mother here, right? I've known this guy for over 10 years easily. We've traveled the country together. We've built sales organizations. We've motivated people. We've built teams. We've inspired people. We've helped people make a lot of money together. And this guy is doing some of the biggest things in the network marketing industry. Great family man, great friends, great human being, man. I'm super excited to have you. What's up, my brother?
What's up, my man?
Yeah, good.
Feels good to be here, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Feels good to have you here, bro.
Yeah, I've been watching your podcast. Got a lot of good things going on, man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. You just got back from Florida, huh?
Yes, we were out in Florida for a month. Well, it almost seemed like a month. I think it was like 3 weeks.
Nice.
We went out there with my son's baseball team. He played for 2 weeks out there, and then I just took a week of family time.
That's awesome.
Because you know how it is in this industry. Come back, fourth quarter, it's grind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you grind to launch the next year. So spent a week just hanging out in Florida with the family, bro, and haven't done that for a minute. You know, we've been building and building and building and building, along with building a successful baseball academy here in California.
Right.
It's nonstop. It's go 24/7. You know.
Right. Yeah. No, I see that, man, and that's a beautiful thing that you've got. Right. The fact that you're able to leave for 3 weeks with your family, go out there and, you know, support your son in what he does, and you took your daughters as well. You took your whole family.
My whole
right?
family. There was actually 16 of us that ended up going.
16 people.
Yeah. Yeah, 16, bro. It was a blast. And my grandma and grandpa, which was my kids' great grandma and grandpa, got to show up, and it was crazy because we were getting ready to. Well, we were starting a game. My grandparents had got in before we started this game, right? So they flew. 5 hours to get to Florida. I think they took like a red eye to get to Florida. We had rented them a hotel room by the park in case they wanted to take a nap, and then afterwards the whole family would get together. Yeah. And so my dad had told my grandpa, he says, hey, we got you a room. And my grandpa says to my dad, he says, and this is how I was brought up, so you're going to know why family's so big to me. My grandpa, who's in his 80s, had a triple heart bypass. You know, when I was in the 5th grade, they put a valve. They said was only good for 10 years.
Wow.
Well, this was in the 5th grade. I graduated. I know it looks like yesterday, but I graduated a while ago.
Right.
And but there's a leak in it now. But he remembers the old days of that surgery, so the pain that he went through. So he doesn't want to go through it again. So we don't know how much time we have with my grandpa.
Got it.
But he gets tired easy. My point is this: my grandpa gets there, and my dad says, "Hey, we rented you a room so you guys could go ahead and rest, and then we'll get to it." He says, "I didn't travel halfway across the country to come sleep while my grandson's playing.
Nice.
I want to go to the game and watch him."
That's
and
awesome.
It was crazy, bro, because they got there and we could see them in the stands, but we're in the outfield. And at this point, it's like a 2-1 game. We're losing. They got a runner on third. They hit a bomb to the outfield. My son catches it at the fence and just unleashes it. Dude, I'm talking about through a hose. Nails the kid by 10 feet out at home.
Wow.
So my grandparents got to see that. It was like the play of the tournament for us, right? It was legit. They got to see him the very next at bat. There's a runner gets walked, still second. My son comes up, hits a double, scores the tying run. So they got to see all that. You know, like they got to witness it. So it was pretty cool. It was a fun experience, man.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. And you know, you've built a successful sales organization. You've got leverage. You've got residual income. And that allows you to be able to take 3 weeks off and go to Florida. Listen, we just came back from Florida for 1 week, my family and I. Took my mom, my mother-in-law, my wife, and my son. We were only there for a week. You guys were there for 3 weeks. First of all, it costs a pretty penny. Yeah. Not a lot of people can go out there and just take 3 weeks off just because. That's a beautiful thing, and that's a testament to you for so many years paying the price, bro, with business. Right. And so, you know, must feel good to be able to do that for your family.
It felt great, bro. It felt great. Like, we always talk about Well, you always taught us. So let's be real. You were my first mentor that I followed, right? That got me going the right way. And you talked about building the business, and success has a price, and rent's due every day. Like
Right.
success I remember you said like success is rented, and rent's due every day.
Right.
Meaning like you can't pay the price this day, that day, someday, every other day. That shit's due every day.
Yeah.
And what you do now will lead up to the and you know it's so true in network marketing, because we grind. But what we're able to do and the lifestyle we're able to have. I mean, dude, it's 9:30 on a Friday.
Right.
Most people are at work. They're gonna drive home in traffic.
Yep.
They're gonna spend money this weekend or tonight and Saturday or Sunday with people that don't really care about them.
Right.
They're gonna dread going back to work on Monday. And yet, when we wrap up, we might go get something to eat.
Right.
Take our time getting back home.
Yep.
Got a date night with my wife tonight. I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no stress. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's not always been like that. You know it.
Yep.
But the price has been paid, and you know, thanks to you, who's taught that from the beginning. And I've had other mentors and other companies, but I really didn't have ultimate success until I stuck with that concept.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, no, I appreciate that. And yeah, you and I worked together, and I played a little bit of a role, but you went out there and really took it to another level, bro. You've mentored a lot of people now, and it's just the nature of the game. It's just the nature of the business, right? And so you mentioned, for example, on Monday, people are going to be going back to work, dreading to go back to work. One of the interesting things is that the heart rate drastically increases. Heart attacks drastically increase on Monday mornings between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Coincidence?
Coincidence? Go figure.
Right. So that's why, you know, we're so adamant about teaching people about entrepreneurship, man. And the cool thing about, and it doesn't have to be network marketing, man. It could be whatever, you know, start your own business, right? You know, whatever. I got people that make money with Amazon stores and Walmart stores now, and there's so many ways to make money, right? But my encouragement to people is like, hey man, start something aside from just having a 9-to-5 job, because if there's one thing that the pandemic taught us is how there's no such thing as job security, which I've known for many years. Right. And it's so fragile that you should have a different stream of income. If you're relying on your only efforts from a job, I mean, I think that's a recipe for disaster.
Couldn't agree with you more than that. You know, to echo that, I remember when you used to ask people in the audience, like, how do you get paid? How many ways do you get paid? And they would hold up the number one, and you would go, how do you get paid? And you would say, now point that finger at you, right?
Right.
Let's face it. Just putting your money in the stock market, Forex, any of those things, that's all a risk, right? Think about Fortune 500 companies that we thought were going to be here forever.
Yep.
That when this pandemic hit, went out of business. Think about this. How many more businesses had success with keeping some of their people at home because they were more happy, right? I was talking with my cousin, who's a financial planner for one of the largest, I don't want to say the name because I don't know if we'll get in trouble, but the largest
You can
stores
say
out
the
there.
name.
Target.
Yeah.
Right? He does all their finances for their spirits, their wine and everything. And it was funny because him and my dad were talking, and my dad is a business development manager for a bank, does crazy numbers. My point is this: my dad's numbers quadrupled by him staying at home, not going into the office, right?
Wow.
And his role, it was pretty cool because he never really had to go in and stay in all the time. He could go and come as he pleased, but staying home, what happens when you're at home? You're having fun, you're chilling. And my cousin said this, he was like, now they're making them go back to Minnesota because they're gonna go back to the offices, but he was like, I felt like I did more when I was at home because I never was really off. It was almost like being an entrepreneur when you think about it.
Yeah.
He was like, and I was kind of puzzled by that because he was like, if I was at home and had some free time, I would jump on the emails right away.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait till Monday till I got to work.
Right.
Right?
Makes sense.
So people are more productive being at home because they feel like they're not getting paid for being on the clock 24/7, but he's working way more than what he would if he's like, look, if I go, he loves it. He's gonna go to the office. When he gets out of the office, he's done, goes, picks up his kids, does whatever. That's cool, right? But when he was staying at home, he was working Saturdays, he was working Sundays, he was working nights, he was working early mornings. He was doing it all because he would just get ahead.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same when he goes back. So think about how that changed everything. You know what I mean? Fortune 500 companies going out of business, companies that were here for years switching their business models. You got Amazon stores, drop shipping stores.
Yep.
You got all these things that are happening, and people are realizing okay, look, we do network marketing. We choose network marketing. That was our plan B at one point. Now it's our plan A, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be network marketing. But if not, then what? Figure
Right.
out something.
Yes.
Right? Figure out something to create that stream of income to where you never know what rainy day is going to come.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. No, and that's something that we've been preaching, right, for years, because we've seen people get their ass handed to them because they didn't have a plan B. They didn't want to. They just, felt in their comfortable zone. There's people that I know that they thought, hey, man, I've been at this job for a long time. It's a solid, stable company. And they think they're going to have it forever. And then before you know it, after 10 years, 15 years, boom, they're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I like about your story is that you've got a lot of good sales experience. And when you were at the car dealer, man, you were grinding hard, making great money, but you were time broke. Yep. Tell me about your time at the dealer, man, and how that, shaped you.
I want to get back to. I want to touch on something real quick, if it's okay.
Sure.
I don't want people to think that we're saying network marketing doesn't have its crashes too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
like, people
of
are thinking like, oh well, you're just like bashing. No, I'm not bashing. Look, work your job.
Yes.
Work your fortune part time. Here's what I realized: most top earners in network marketing are investing in multiple different things now, because they too have realized that something can happen that can take down a big company.
100%.
Maybe it's out of their control, and something happens. So they too now are investing in multiple streams. So like, I don't want anybody that's watching this like, oh, they're just networkers, so they're bashing. No, I'm not bashing anything. Look, work your job. Getting into the car industry, I was in the car industry for over 10 years. It's funny because I started my sales career at Sparklets Water, believe it or not.
Yes, touch on that, because I remember that story.
I started there. I bought my first. So look, me and my wife, we did it the hard route. We had our baby young. I was 18. She was 17. I bought my house at 19. I think I just turned 19. My first house, and I was blessed because my dad's friend had hooked it up, and so we bought our first house. And the day I signed for my house, I quit my job. I was working at the bank. Because I thought the bank is like, that's where all the money's at. That's where people make the money, right?
Yeah.
But what I realized is the only nice cars that were coming to the bank were the people that were pulling the money out and leaving.
Right.
There was no nice cars there. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I remember being 18, driving around and looking at places that had nice cars in the parking lot, thinking like, okay, that would be a place that I could put my application in, right? So I quit my job and I got into Sparklets. They said, can you sell? I said, I can sell anything. They told me, sell me this pen. I sold her the pen. I didn't even know what I was doing, right? Go out, knock on doors. Just door knocking, cold door. I sell the first door I hit, I make a sale. Third door I hit, make another sale. I sold 5 deals that day. I was supposed to be on a 30-day probation, got hired instantly, and that's where my sales started. And I found out in sales, well, what door knocking made me realize is that, number one, you got to find a way to break the ice with people instantly, right?
Yes.
Got to be relatable with people.
Right.
And then I found a way to where I said, okay, these guys, we were paid on a tier system. This is crazy, man. I'll never forget this. So we were paid on a tier system. You could sell 60, which is 3 a day, and you would get paid like $50 a sale. If you go into 4 a day, whatever it was. But if you did average 5 a day, right, so like 100 accounts, you would get $100 a sale, so you could make 10 grand a month. At 19 years old, I'm like, okay, well, I start door knocking, and we would go and door knock, and I said, man, okay, so I'm getting close to that five a day, but I'm working like from morning to night, bro.
Yeah.
And what I realized is like, okay, if I'm door knocking, most people aren't home till evening.
Yeah.
So what I did is I would plan my day out all throughout the day, and I would chill, and then I would go and door knock from like 3, and I was getting 3 to like 6. I was getting the same results as the guys who've been there for years. So I said, okay, well, what has changed? My results have went up. I'm not as tired. I have more energy. What has changed? Here's what changed. I got in front of more people.
Yeah.
Instead of knocking on empty doors. Figured, okay, well, now if I go and hit these high-rise, like these nice apartments in like Aliso Viejo, that was my first time really going to like a nice like condo complex.
Yeah.
What's there? More doors, more people. Go
right.
in the evening. I could sell 10 a day, take the next day off. Are you serious?
Right.
So I started doing stuff like that, and then I started setting up 24-hour fitnesses. So I was setting up 24-hour fitness. I was outside giving away free water, signing people up. So now people are coming to me. So I found a way where nobody was doing something, and now the people were coming to me. Long story short, we killed it. I ended up setting up like the military bases.
Wow.
I ended up setting up like lowrider shows. I was doing events there. Bro, like everywhere I was doing events, dude. It was crazy. And I would end up making enough sales in a couple days that I didn't have to work the rest of the month.
Wow.
And it was crazy. Well, Coke came in, bought them out, cut the pay, you know how corporate America works. So then I got into real estate. And everybody said, don't get into real estate, you're too young. Sold 4 homes my first week, killed it.
How did you sell 4 homes at your first week?
I got in, they weren't door knocking back then.
Okay.
So they were just making calls. I said, well, you can make a call to that person, but I'm going to show up at their house. So when they're listening to your recording, I'm going to be knocking at their door. So if they're going to call you, they're going to know me.
Right, right.
So, people are calling, they were just knocking on calling expireds. I'm like, forget calling expireds. I'm going to knock on their door.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to get the appointment there. And now I'm here. Let's do it. And so that's how I did that. It was good. I loved it. It just wasn't really where I was, my cup of tea. Got into cars, and I loved it, bro.
Yeah.
I loved cars, dude. I love selling cars. It was so much fun. But like you said, and it's funny, my dad just went and picked up a new commuter car. And car guys are the biggest ego guys in the world.
Really?
They think they make the most money. Nobody could touch them. Like, I think it's because that whole stigma where people think like car dealers or car guys are like the scumbags
Yes,
and liars.
yes.
And then these
So
guys
they have a chip on their shoulder?
They have a chip on their shoulder. They got to portray something. You know what I mean? We were at this car dealership, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you got out of the car industry. You're crazy. Nobody can make what we make." And I'm like, "Bro, a doctor makes more than you. What are you talking about? A lawyer makes more than you."
Right.
Like, and not all the time. There's car guys that make a lot of money. Listen, I was
Sure.
making some great money.
Yeah.
And I know people who make some really good money there. At some point, it's not all about money.
Yeah.
Like look, we had talked about and it's funny because everything switches. Like in network marketing, you want to get 10 grand a month, you're good. Then that mark went to like 15, then to 25, then 50. Now it's like the new 100K a month is like, that's like the norm. Like if you could get to 100K, dude, like you're rolling, right? And you're not doing those numbers there. Let's just be realistic. But here's what's more important is the time freedom.
Yep.
Bro, the car industry, I loved it. I loved everybody I worked with, met great contacts, opened up doors that I never thought before. But the truth of the matter is, a holiday weekend, what are you doing? There's a holiday sale.
Right.
Like 4th of July, you want to while everybody's barbecuing, you're selling cars.
That's right.
Like that's the truth.
That's right.
Labor Day, there's a sale. Valentine's Day, there's a sale. Everything, there's a sale.
Yeah.
So you work every holiday, right? And then on top of that, let's just say there isn't a holiday. Again, when do the most people work? When are the most people free? On the weekends. So then when are you going to really work? On the weekends. When are people free? At night. When do your kids go to school? During the day. So there's no seeing your family.
That sucks.
Like there's no family. Bro, I don't know the statistic, but I would be willing to say car salesman divorce rate is among the highest out there. I'd argue that. And I don't know it. So I'm not quoting that or saying that's the truth. I'm not quoting numbers.
Wow.
But think about that, man. It's a very hard industry. People always say like, I hear people throw around 8 to faint. Like, bro, people don't know what 8 to faint is.
Right.
You go in at 6 in the morning, you get off at 2 in the morning because you have to deliver a car. That's 8 to faint.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'll never forget this one time I made a sale. I got to work at 6 in the morning. This dude bought a Escalade and wanted to pay cash. They lived, I don't even know what's the city underneath the Hollywood sign.
Okay.
But whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So I had to drive over there. So first of all, I have to drive over
Probably
there.
Hollywood.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
But it's not. It's like farther down. It was
Okay,
like I don't remember the city, but yeah.
Yeah, but I know what
You know what I'm talking about, right? So we're way out there. My dealership's in Ontario, in the Inland
Yeah,
Empire. We're way out there. So it's like 8:30. I got to get out there. By the time we sign all the paperwork, it's like 9 o'clock at night, 9:30.
Yes.
The general manager ain't coming to pick me up. There's no sales guys coming to pick me up. My direct manager, he's at home with his family. He ain't gonna come pick me up. So these guys have to drop me off. Mind you, they give me $57,000 cash that I'm now holding in my pocket, right, in my jacket. They drop me off at Union Station.
Wow.
The last train for me to get on leaves at midnight. So it puts me in the Inland Empire at like 12:45. My wife picked me up at 1 in the morning.
Wow.
You want to talk about 8 to faint? Those are real hours. You know what I mean? Some of the stories that come from there too, man. Like talking about, like, remember when we talked about? I tell the story up on stage. I was selling a Cadillac Escalade to a high-end attorney.
Yeah.
I was already in network marketing, and let me tell you. Shout out to my managers because they fueled my fire even more for network marketing, because I remember I would be the guy who was, oh, there's that pyramid guy.
Yes.
Oh, this guy thinks he's gonna retire from the car industry. Oh, this guy thinks this. Oh, this guy thinks that. And we would just work, and one company would come and go and do another one, and one where I had a big breakthrough. I remember talking to you and saying, like, when am I gonna quit? When's the right time to quit? And my goal at that time was 25 grand, 3 months in a row. I'll have enough money saved. We could go ahead and make a run. And so we went on and did that. I didn't quit right away. Stayed at that job. I was making 10 grand consistently, 15 grand consistently. And then we didn't leave until those numbers. And now everybody's got to figure out what that on their own. But one of the things that really touched me there was it's like in my final days, I was selling a car, a Cadillac Escalade to a high-end attorney. Can't say his name. But the wife and him are inside my office, and they're going at it. Like, it's getting intense. They're arguing. And they're arguing over, believe it or not, the interior of the color of the car. And in my head, I'm thinking, damn, rich people got problems too, right? Like, and they're going at it. And I'm getting ready to hey, I'm going to step out while you guys figure out exactly what we're going to do.
Right.
Before I leave, and this hit me the hardest. Because I had already sent my family on vacation. My wife and my daughters my son wasn't here yet, had already went to Hawaii without me. I had to stay and work.
Damn.
Right? It was like the story that you say. I go home, my dog would bark at me. He didn't know who I was, right?
Right.
But I'll never forget this. She looked at him and she goes, "What do you even care what the color of the interior car is? This is a family car. You're never with the family."
Woo!
Bro, when I heard that, I was like, oh my God.
Damn.
Like, right? That hurt.
That hurts me for him.
For him.
You know, when you mention that, I have a 7-year-old. I'm 37 years old. I'm 38 years old. I have a 7-year-old, so I had him at 31. And now we have a 3-week-old, right? And
Congratulations, by the way.
thank you, bro. Thank you. And so, but you remember, before my son Maximus was born, I was saying, I'm grinding, building my passive income, putting my investments in place, because when I do have kids, I'm going to be there for them. I'm not going to be like too busy to hang out with them. I'm going to be my son's hero.
That's what you said right there.
That's right.
You said that over and over and over. And at that time, I was working 80 hours a week.
Right.
And I was thinking, like, damn, dude. I wasn't coaching my son at the time. He was playing T-ball, and another coach was coaching him, like, not even teaching him the right way and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, damn. I'm thinking, like, dude, I'm not my son's hero. How could I be my son's hero when I'm letting him get trained by some guy who doesn't even know what the hell he's doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's real talk. Like,
it's hard to be his hero when you're working 80 hours a week, man.
Right? And so, bro, like, when I heard that saying, I said, no, this can't go. This can't be. There's got to be something more.
Yes.
And I remember going back to what we were talking about. There's a price to rent. Success is rented, and rent's due every day. I remember specifically going home one night and being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Oh, I know what it was. I got suspended from work. So I asked to go watch my son's kindergarten graduation. My manager gave me a hard time, bro. It was like the end of the world. It's during the day, bro. There's not even no customers coming in. We're in the internet office. We schedule appointments. Like, come on, bro. I mean, it's not like he's gonna do it again.
Right.
So that was one thing. Then I remember making up a lie to my manager and saying that I got a flat tire. I wasn't going to make it in, but I'll be there later, because I wanted to go to the opening ceremony and watch my son's first game.
Yes.
And I was having some success, not a lot, but I remember taking a picture off of Google of a tow truck driver picking up a car, bro.
Oh, wow.
Like, and I sent it to him. I'm thinking like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
So then this guy's like, what manager is going to really go into debt to figure out what's going on?
Yes.
Right? So he found the same picture and just went off on me and said, stay home. You're suspended for a week or whatever. But it was so funny because that night, me and my wife went to P.F. Chang's. And there's a picture that comes up every now and then. It'll probably come up here pretty soon when Little League gets ready to start again. That night was the first night that I hit a 6-figure income in network marketing.
Wow.
And me and my wife went out to celebrate, and I got suspended from work that day for lying to my boss about missing a couple hours to go watch my son. Like, dude, why do I have to lie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
See, that's the thing about, that's why I've always been against corporate America. And listen, it's a necessary evil for, especially for those people. Listen, and here's the thing, disclaimer. If you're somebody that's in corporate America and you love what you do, God bless you. It just wasn't for me, right? The other time I was talking about somebody, he was talking about that he was going to be a plumber. And somebody says, well, what's wrong with being a plumber? I said, absolutely nothing's wrong with being a plumber. Nothing's wrong with flipping burgers. Nothing's wrong with anything, unless you don't want to flip burgers, unless you don't want to be a plumber, unless you don't want to be in that daily grind. Personally, for me, I don't want somebody to tell me what time I could come in, what time I could take lunch. Like, oh, you know what time I'm hungry? I fucking get hungry at 12. I don't want somebody to tell me what time I could come in, what time I could take lunch, how many times I could be sick a week. Fuck that. Or excuse me, not a week, but a year. I don't want that. So for me, entrepreneurship was a way. And for me, network marketing provided that. I retired my mom by the age of 28, 29. That wouldn't have happened if I was working 9 to 5 for somebody else. So my disclaimer is, for the people there's some people that they have a job and they love what they do. God bless you. Good for you. That's success to me. To me, success is not the money.
Yeah.
Money isn't success. Now, is money part of it? Absolutely. For example, you at the dealer, you were making great money. You were making over 6 figures.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you were time broke. See, that's not success. I'd rather be struggling to pay the bills, but see my kids and raise my kids, and somebody else raising my kids and somebody else coaching my kids. Forget that.
Right.
You know, I took Max to yesterday. 2 days ago was his first day of school. I took him to school. Yesterday, and then afterwards at 5 o'clock, I took him to jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I work you know what I mean? This morning I took him to school and I came here.
And
right?
people are going to judge that comment right there, and they're going to say, oh, he just says that, but he doesn't mean it. But those people haven't experienced the time freedom yet.
That's right.
Once you experience the time freedom, you will sacrifice money for time freedom.
Hell yeah.
Especially, bro, I don't give a shit what anybody says if you got a family.
That's right.
Dude, I've been blessed since 2015 to be able to take my kids to school, be able to pick them up. Now, it's not saying it's every day, because there's times when I'm out of the state, out of the country, building the business, but I can do that. You know, I got to wake up, see my kids today.
Yep.
I tell them I'll see you guys later. You know, before it wasn't. Go to work when they're asleep, get home when they're asleep. Like, that's the reality. And again, like, I'm not knocking a corporate America. It just wasn't for me.
I get it.
You know?
And I respect that, man. So you learned a lot from the car business, right? I bought a car from you as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made is
buying a car from me.
Buying a car. No. Buying a car for cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I really want. Hey, here's the thing, man. We're all gonna make these decisions and these mistakes when we're young. I would still buy that car now. I just wouldn't buy it cash, right?
Well, we didn't know. Think about this. Back then, we knew how to attract money.
Right.
We knew how to make money. We knew how to network, but we didn't know how to put that money to work. You know that now.
Right.
By of what you've been through. So you now know that you will leverage the bank's money, pay their little interest, whatever it is, put your money to work for you and make more interest than what you're paying there.
That's right.
And now that's smart money.
Yep.
You know, we didn't know those concepts back then.
That's true.
You know?
No, yeah. And listen, we're all going to make mistakes. I mean, I look at some of the things that I've done and said in the past and I cringe but I own up to it. Hey, it is what it is, right? We've all made these mistakes and whatnot. But anyways, you know, talking about, you know, the business side now, I love to see your story because you and I, we're not just colleagues, but we are friends. Yeah. First and foremost, we're friends. I know your family, you know my family. And so to me, it's very cool to see how much you coach your kids now and how this. So, but one of the things is, how big is your sales organization now?
We do over $500,000 a month.
$500,000 a month in sales, right?
And we have only been with this company for a little over a year and a half.
Wow.
The crazy thing is, like, here's what's crazy is most of the people that are in this new company that I'm doing were with me previously, and they were in my organization.
Right.
So coming over here, I'm having to build from scratch.
Right.
Now, obviously my close circle, they're still with me, you know what I mean? I was able to bring over some people, but here's my biggest thing, is I said, okay, I seen people be one-hit wonders in network marketing.
Yep.
There's some people right now, if their companies go out of business, they're fucked. I'm part of my thing.
Yeah.
They're really screwed, bro.
Right, right.
Because they got no work ethic.
Right.
They aren't going to be able to do what they did once.
Right. It's true.
I seen you built 7-figure incomes in several different companies. That's a testament to who you are, your work ethic, and to your character, right? People will follow you and they'll do what you do in order to have what you have. They're going to listen to you. You have what they desire, so they're going to model you. That was my biggest challenge coming to this company is, as you know, in network marketing, we've had some success. It's hard building when your people are already there.
Yeah.
Like everybody who's a top earner in this company was pretty much in my organization. If they're a top earner here,
Right.
they were in my organization. If they're making, any sort of money, they were in my organization. And so when you talk about not being able to flip over a huge amount of people, I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
that's what happened,
So what do you attribute the and you kind of addressed it a little bit, right? But building a sales organization, right, takes leadership, takes certain things, right? What do you attribute your success to? What are a couple of key things? And it's kind of like a two-part question, because this is a question that I love to ask. That question, but the other one is, what are some key skills that you would say that anybody can benefit from to become successful, regardless of what industry they're in? What are some of those things? So first question is, what do you attribute your success in network marketing to having the team and the income and the time freedom? What are some of the things that you attribute that to, some of the skills?
Mentorship. We used to have a shirt. I made a shirt, and I'm probably going to do it again so nobody copy me on this thing. So consistently, consecutively, long enough.
Nice.
You can't do network marketing without any one of those three things. Just because you do it consistently, if you're not doing it correctly, you're screwed.
Correct.
Just because you did it consistently, but you only did it for 3 weeks, but you didn't do it long enough, you're going to be screwed.
Nice.
Doing it over and over and over and over and over and over, and it goes to this. One of the biggest things that challenged me, or that made me want to grind even harder, bro, to be honest, was I would always envision my kids' faces when they came down our hallway on Christmas Day.
Right.
Are they going to have a, heck yeah, that's dope, oh my God, there's that iPad, there's this, there's that, are they going to be like a little sad?
Right.
Right? That pushed me more than anybody. So like when I talk to people, it was that, that's probably the biggest thing that attribute, being consistent.
Right.
Some people are very good at putting all their work out there on social media. I'm still learning, bro. I'm the old school. I'm the belly to belly.
Yeah.
We just came back from an event out in Dallas, a big event. And then I didn't document, I left that event to another event. And I left that event to another. I didn't come home until 3 days later after everybody was already home.
Right.
But I didn't document it, I got to get better at stuff like that because I see where we're at in today's society. It's necessary. So I throw stuff on there every now and then, but I always tell people, don't mistake my absence from Instagram or social media as to me not working. I'll just pull up my back office. We'll look at numbers.
Right, exactly.
Numbers don't lie.
Right.
I'll outwork anybody, any day, anytime. Because why? Because my passion, my why. This is my plan A.
Yes.
Right. This is. I'm all in. And I know there's a lot of people relying on me. So we have a nonprofit baseball organization. But that's the thing that's attributed the most, bro, to my success in network marketing is being consistent and being consistent to others, but being consistent to my dreams.
Yes.
Right? I don't believe God gives us dreams in vain, bro.
Right.
God doesn't give us into whatever you believe in and whatever everybody believes in, to each their own. But like for me, it's God, right? I believe in God. Without Him, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
I don't believe God saying I'm dreaming of these dreams in vain. Right? Like, and to everybody's different. It doesn't mean your dream's different from my dream. Like some people like the luxury cars.
Sure.
Some people like the fancy. I'm still rocking a watch that my last company gave me.
Yes.
I'm not buying a $100,000 watch. That's not my style.
Right.
I do have my passion is my family, making sure that they can have the best trainers in their sports.
Yep.
Making sure that they can have the best recovery in their. My son goes to a guy who works with the Olympics. He's $100 an hour. We go 4 days a month.
Right.
To recover. My son doesn't have arm injuries since I've been going to this guy.
Right.
I want to be able to provide the best and not say, oh, we can't because dad didn't work hard enough.
Yes.
Oh, I can't afford those J's that you want that are now like freaking crazy $250 to $1,000, right? Because I didn't grind enough.
Yep.
I can't get you that wooden bed. I can't put my daughter in these tumblings. I can't put my daughter with the best cheer houses because I didn't grind enough. Having something that's like that, that's motivating you and keeping you on your toes, is gonna help it make you better. And for the single people out there, like, oh, that's good, you have a family, I don't. Okay, what about your mom?
That's right.
You were single.
Yep.
Your goal was to retire your mom.
Right.
You were tired of seeing your mom get up early, catch a bus, go to work.
Yep.
For people that didn't appreciate her.
Yep.
To get underpaid and come back home and do it all over again. You were sick and tired of being sick and tired. Until people get into that place, even with network marketing, until people get to that place, it's easy just to quit on yourself, but you won't quit on somebody else.
That's right.
So
you have to have that burning desire, and a lot of times, in my experience, I find that it comes from unselfish whys. Because if I have a selfish why, like I want that car, I want that watch, or I want that, that's easy to give up on.
Right.
But if you got like my son, my daughter, my mom, I want to retire them, I want to do this, I want to do that, it is a lot harder to give up on that shit than it is to give up on some materialistic, selfish shit.
Right.
100%.
100%. And you've always said that. And you know, like these new guys who I'm working with and I'm being mentored by. You know, shout out to Jason Brown and Matt Rose, so they're great guys.
Yeah, I know.
Really good guys.
I'd love to interview those guys one day, man. Those guys are so sharp.
Oh, they're gonna be coming out here pretty soon. Maybe we can set something up.
Set it up, bro. Hook it up.
Jason Brown's gonna be out here on the 17th. But you know what's crazy is like hearing these guys are killing it. I mean, flat out they're killing. I'm not gonna do no income disclaimers. Killing it.
Killing it like making yearly income on a monthly basis, or
no, killing it like a yearly income, like in a 3-day basis.
Yeah,
maybe a day basis.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's just from their
it's
residual
outrageous.
income.
I know.
Yeah, that's not including their investments. But I'm not. Here's what's, bro. If you saw these guys and you know their heart is to help. I've never been around people that have made that kind of money, that haven't had some sort of arrogance, that haven't had some sort of ego.
Right.
These guys, I used to think, like, when I was on the outside looking in, people over profit. Bullshit. Nobody really means that. Like, bro, these guys mean it. People over profits. We're getting ready to go on a chairman trip to Cabo, paid for by these two gentlemen. Not by the company, not by, and the company already took us somewhere. We already did our Miami trip. I'm talking about this is separate, where they're pouring money into their people. When they say people over profits, they mean people over profits.
And that is so true, bro, because see, that's leadership, right?
Yeah.
And then if you look at, for example, the car business, they know how to sell, but the leadership isn't really there because they don't put their people, they don't care about their people, they care about the numbers. I just got into it on Facebook. It's funny, I'm in the solar business. I'm in some solar groups. And then these guys are like, man, you would beg to recruit me because you guys are a big recruiting company. I say, yeah, we are a big recruiting company, but why the hell would I want to recruit you? Do you have leadership skills? Do you know how to motivate and train and put people first and develop people? Or do you guys just teach people how to go knock on doors and make sales? You guys are transactional salespeople. Right. The reason why I'm only less than a year and a half into the solar industry, but we're doing numbers that big ass companies aren't doing. And then we're doing it from the comfort of our home, building passive income. So I tell people, you guys don't understand. You guys, all you know is sales. Slam the sale, collect the commission, see you later. What we do is that we build people first. we show people that don't know the solar industry. Sometimes they don't even know sales. We show them sales and the solar industry, and then they make more money than your guys that are baking in the sun. And my guys are doing. I got one of my guys, bro, closed 10 deals last week from home.
1 week.
1 week, made about close to 40 grand in a week from home.
Crazy.
Never sold solar 7 months ago though.
Yeah.
And so the point that I'm getting to though is leadership. And a lot of sales organizations, all they focus on is sales and that's it, right? But no leadership. And one of the things that you talk about, you and about especially the leadership in your company, these guys are making the kind of money that they're making because of the leadership and the people development.
Yep.
And that's so incredibly key, man.
It's so crazy because I remember, I think it was me and you were talking one day. And yeah, it was me and you. I think we were on our way to New York, if I'm not mistaken. And we were talking about leadership. And one of the things you said, I don't even know if you remember this. You said a leader can be so good that when they leave their area where they live, where their biggest, probably that's where their biggest business is. You said when they leave, so if I left California, when I'm out of the state conducting business, does my business in California stop?
Right.
Do the meetings end, or do they continue, and do they get stronger and get better? And if they get better and your business grows while you're gone, that's levels of leadership.
That's right.
There's people that they have to be at every event. If they're not there, the events don't happen.
That's right.
You know, it's pretty crazy because I got shout out to one of our guys. He's a big videographer guy. You know, San Morgan.
Yes.
He does some crazy stuff for some rappers and stuff like that. And he's all, if you look at his Instagram, he's traveling all over all the time. But here's what's crazy is they started a meeting on Wednesdays. Yeah, Wednesdays in, what is the Mexican, the big Mexican with the famous kicker?
Soccer player?
Yeah, it's famous football player who's a kicker. Anyways, it's a big Mexican restaurant, chain of Mexican restaurants. And it's in Ontario, and they started on Wednesdays. And this meeting has gotten bigger and bigger. He's there when he can. I haven't been to one of those events yet.
Wow.
And now they packed out the room, and the room is over. Like, we're almost having to leave, but the owner's like, Cendejas. The owner's like, no, you guys can't leave. Like, Wednesdays were dead for us, and you guys are packing this place. He's like, I'll give you our other room, which is way bigger, which they have people, because he wants us to pack that out now, where the whole bar is with the big screen.
Wow.
And
Nice.
seeing, it reminded me of that time when we were on that trip and we were talking about that. Like, that's levels of leadership.
That's right.
It's growing beyond us.
Yes.
And you got people that are inspired and fired up, and you know, shout out to one of our guys, RJ, who just walked away from his Verizon sales job. He's been there for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And he couldn't go to events because they would get mad because he was going to network marketing events. He couldn't post because they would get mad, but he was making money and he was killing it, bro. And here's the thing, he's killing it in what our service is trading.
Yes.
He's making more trading than he was working for a month for them, and he made good money there. And
Right.
it started like, I told him, hey, don't quit right away. You got a good pension. You got all this stuff. Relax. He's like, I got to get. He went out. He ended up leaving his job. He went out to this event that we just threw that you saw in Dallas. And that's his first going to a network marketing event.
Yes.
And I had paid a lot of money for some tables up front. And we had first row seats. And he was one of my guests. And bro, to see him come back and be even more, I'm excited to see what he does now. It's almost like when you get to the point, like when we talk about, you wanted to see people succeed more than they want to succeed themselves. So like, I feel
true.
like, man, I can't wait to watch that story there. But yeah, man, that's levels of leadership.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
That's right. Well, all of this is fire, bro. And one of the questions I often like to ask is, what advice would you give to a struggling entrepreneur or a struggling salesperson? There's a lot of people out there that are in a rut, and they're wondering, hey, man, how do I get out of this rut? I know I've been in a rut. I'll give my 2 cents on some advice I would give to a struggling entrepreneur. But I always like to ask these other entrepreneurs that, so what advice would you give to anybody that's listening or watching that is in a rut in their business?
And that's good. That's a great question. And I think the answer varies, right?
Sure.
Because it all depends on, if I'm talking to one of my people or one of my boys or one of my, you know, I consider like one of my dudes.
Right.
It's a little bit different because I'm going to know their personal stuff. But
Sure.
if I'm talking to like somebody who comes up to me at an event, hey, I'm struggling, What advice do you give me? The first thing I say is, what is your DMOs, daily method of operations?
Right.
What are you doing? Like, are you working the business, or are you saying you're working the business? Are you grinding? Are you saying you're grinding? See, like, everybody wants your results. Everybody wants the results that other people have, but they're not willing to put in the work that they had to endure. See, like, some people, like, we recently ran across this with some of our team up in the high desert, and I feel like my accessibility to them was taken for granted.
Yep.
Like, they thought what I have already just happened overnight, and that shit hasn't, bro. You know my story, bro. The hardest thing I had to do was walk into my wife and tell them we lost our dream home, and the car that you're driving that you always wanted just got repoed. Bro, look at, like, bro, that stuff will bring a man to his knees.
Yeah.
Like, so what I would say to somebody is, what are you doing on a daily basis? And break that down from there. Okay, you get up and you do what? You brush your teeth. Okay, you do this, you do that. But what else do you do? Are you doing your personal development? Like, look, I love personal development, bro. I love personal development. I love it with a passion. I believe in it. But I believe it's the most, it's the number one thing that's not going to pay you directly. It's the number one thing that will pay you dividends for the rest of your life indirectly by the person you become. But just because you go home and read 10 pages of a good book, 30 minutes of an audio, or do whatever you do, spend 4 hours on personal development, is not going to make you money today, right now.
Right.
The law of attraction. I want $1 million, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, I want $1 million. That shit ain't coming to me, bro.
Right.
Unless you take actions.
Yep.
So that's the key that's missing to a lot of the stuff, right? So what are you doing daily in order to have success? And when we break that down, are you spending 4 hours a day on personal development? Are you spending 2 hours a day on Instagram and social media and posting, but never following up with anybody? Like, remember, we talked about it, we've done trainings on it. The F in follow-up stands for fortune.
Right.
And that sounds like a cliche, but I got a system. Bro, like, I've driven it down so deep, JC, to over the last year and a half, to where I have 2 Rolodexes when I'm following up with people. And this is a free nugget for all my entrepreneurs out there, for all my network marketers. I follow up what's called the 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, then they move into the month. And what I mean by that is, so if I prospect you today, I know I'm going to follow up with you in 2 days. From there, I'm going to follow up with you in 4 days. And every day I'm taking your name who's on that card and I'm moving it to the day that so every day I go through, everybody's going to be different. So every day I'm going through the Rolodex, there's always people to follow up with.
Right.
When you get out of the 30-day cycle, you're moving into the month cycle. Then I'm just following up with you once a month. But you yourself know, a lot of people hear me say this, and they think it's probably fake or it's cliche or, yeah, right, you say that, but you don't do it. Before I recruited you to the company we were before, our last company, I recruited you for a fucking year.
Yeah.
A year, bro.
Right.
Most people will stop.
Oh, yeah.
They'll quit. So my thing is to the struggling entrepreneur, if you're not tracking well, number one, are you treating it like a business, right? Are you treating it like a hobby? Mm-hmm. If you're not tracking your business, how the hell can anybody help you know where you're falling short if you don't know what you're doing every day?
Yep.
Right? Like, that's I could tell when I'm sitting down with somebody and the first thing they say is, how can you help me? I'm struggling here. When I say, what is your DMOs? And number one, they don't even know what that is. Number two, they can't even talk to me for 5 minutes and explain what they're doing on a daily basis.
Yep.
That's why they're not having success.
That's true, man.
Right? Imagine if we turn off all the lights in here. So it's a blacked out room, right? We turn in all the lights, and you tell me to put a bullet right through in between the 1 and the 2 on this jersey. How the hell am I supposed to do it?
Right.
We turn the lights on. Now I have a path to get there. I can set my scope. I can do whatever I'm using to shoot, right? But if I don't know the target.
Yeah. You know, they say if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. You've got to have that target. And I tell people all the time, listen, if you're struggling, we're talking about entrepreneurs and salespeople. And if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably selling some shit. So if that's the case, you should be spending, let's assume you're full-time on your business. You should be spending 4 to 6 hours a day prospecting. If you want to boil it down to something, let's say you're a real estate agent, solar insurance agent, network marketing, 4 to 6 hours a day. If you're full-time, let's say you got 8 hours, you should be spending at least 4 to 6 hours of those 8 hours prospecting.
Right.
Whether that's door knocking, making phone calls. I tell my guys, and here's one thing you'll find. Some of the least producers and most inconsistent producers always come up with this shit. Hey, bro, when can we meet?
Yeah.
It's like they always periodically every once or 2 months later, we met 2 months ago because this time they want to get shit going. And then maybe they were consistent for a couple days, then they stop. Then all of a sudden, hey, bro, when can we meet again? And then I tell them, listen, man, now I tell people, I don't have time to meet. Yeah. If you want, we can get on a quick phone call, but what the hell are we going to meet for? Because I'm not going to tell you anything different in person than I will over the phone, and I got shit to do.
Right.
And the thing is that as a leader and as a person that's running a sales team, the 80-20 rule applies. 80% of my time is dedicated with the 20%ers because the 20%ers are doing 80% of the production. And then 20% of my time goes to the majority of the people, the 80%ers, because those are the guys that are doing the least production, the 20% of the production. So 80% of the people do the least amount, 20%, and the 20%ers do the 80%. So my time goes accordingly. So I tell people, look, at the end of the day, you mentioned it. What is your daily method of operation? If you're broke, and let's say you're in alarm sales, solar sales, network marketing, real estate, and you're broke, you don't have enough clients, you know what the problem is? You're not introducing yourself to enough people. You're not getting doors slammed in your face. You're not getting enough rejection. You should go out there and fucking want the rejection. How many no's can I get today? If I got 10 no's yesterday, I should be looking for 15, 20 no's today.
100%.
You know what I mean?
It goes to the thing, like, I tell people, like, I was talking to somebody, it's funny, at our convention the other day, and they were saying that, and then she's like, well, I go out to prospect, I go here, I go there, and I'm like, bro, that's fucking weird. Like, bro, think about it. Like, I'm gonna go out and prospect today. I'm gonna go to this store. I'm gonna go here. That's fucking, who's gonna relate with that? Number one, you're not even comfortable. Number two, you're going to, bro, fuck that. Prospect when you're out.
Yeah.
If you got a job, you're gonna go to lunch. Even if I can't afford to go to a McDonald's or a Jack in the Box, I gotta go use a bathroom somewhere. Yeah. I'm not gonna eat my lunch in my car. I'm gonna go out somewhere, so I have to use the bathroom, and then guess what? I'm a prospect when I'm out. When I go shopping, I'm gonna prospect whoever provides me some good service.
Yep.
When I'm eating dinner, I'm gonna prospect whoever's buying me good service. Bro, when you do that, right, it's not weird. Now it's normal.
Yeah.
Now you feel comfortable.
No, it's true. And you know what? That applies even more so for network marketing.
Right.
But for people that are like, let's say real estate, alarm sales, and all that stuff, you got to go out there and knock on. Like when you were selling the water, right? You got to go out there to do it and stuff. So there's two audiences here. You've got the network marketers, and you've got these other salespeople, right?
Salespeople, yeah.
And so I think that what you're saying is absolutely true. Don't be a weirdo. You know what I mean?
Just be normal.
Just be normal, man. And
for the
no matter what business you're in, you should prospect while you're out, anyways.
100%.
If I give you money because I just bought a coffee from you, guess what? I'm gonna also give you my business card. Hey, by the way, I'm in the solar business. If you know of anybody that's looking for solar,
bro,
hit
if
me
I
up.
was in the solar business,
Check this out. I'm gonna do it right now. Sorry. If you're watching this and you know a homeowner that wants to go solar, hit me up. I'll pay you $1,000 for any referral. See, I just fucking did that right now.
While you're out.
Well, yeah, while
you're out
doing my thing, doing something else, right?
And who knows how many people are going to watch this? And that's what's crazy. It's like, if I was in the solar business, would I make money if I never wore a solar shirt, if I never told anybody I was in solar, if I never did anything, if I was I called them closet agents.
Right.
Right there in the closet.
Right.
Nobody knows. I wouldn't open a hat store and keep all the hats in my closet. That shit's like,
exactly.
Come on, let's be real. But if I was in solar, I've never done solar, I've never sold solar, I've never done anything like that. If I was to get into solar, I would have some shirts made, right? I'd have some business cards made. And while I'm out doing what I'm doing on a normal basis, I'm gonna be talking to the masses that are there. Right? I'm going to ask them the questions, which is probably, hey, do you own a home? I'm assuming that's what you're going to ask, right?
Yes.
Hey, do you own a home? Would you be open to saving money? That's not weird. When somebody provided me great service, I'm going to then, if I'm giving you, I have this rule. And everybody used to have like the 6 feet rule and not COVID rules, right? 6 feet rule. If you come within 6 feet, I'm going to tell you about my business. That's cool. But reality, if I'm telling a brand new person who hates sales, and I'm talking about network marketing right here, who hates sales, or even if you're in sales, if you're in that job at the beginning and you're not really experienced with talking with people, it's kind of hard to break that ice with them. Yep. You're not going to feel comfortable. My thing is this. Here's a rule that you can live by. If you're exchanging money, like you said, I've earned the right to tell you about my business. Period. End of story.
I love it.
Period. End of story. If I'm giving you money, you're going to hear about my story. If I'm paying you to cut my hair, you're going to hear about my story.
Right.
You're going to hear about my story. And again, this right now for network marketers, I believe in dream boards and all this stuff. Don't go to a dealership and waste the car guy's time. I fucking hated that. People come in like, oh, no, I'm not going to buy it now. This is for the future. You're broke.
Right.
You can't buy this shit now. Don't waste my time. It'd be like if I go and have you come out 7 times to my house and I'm never going to do anything with you.
Right.
Like, don't do that. Instead, go there and just be upfront with them. Say, hey, I'm just visioning for the future. I don't want to waste your time. And take some pictures. Do stuff like that. And I get it, the whole touch, feel, smell. Get with your upline who's going to help you. Sales guys, same thing. Set goals. If I'm talking to a salesperson who's struggling, what are you doing on a daily basis? What are your goals? Have you rewarded yourself? You know, one of the first things when you started mentoring was goals. Setting goals. Bro, the first time you came and talked, I wasn't even in your organization, and you said, set goals, write them down. You said blue pen on a blue 3x5 card. I don't know why the fuck you said that, but you were making a lot of money at the time. And so you were making a lot of money. I wasn't making a lot of money. I'm not going to question what the fuck you say. I wrote it down. I even wrote down the car. A GMC Acadia Denali. Bro, if I would have known how powerful that was going to be, that car was sitting in my driveway a year later. Swear to God. Craziest shit, right? I remember writing down a watch. It was a gray Vestel watch. It's trimmed. I still have the watch. It's like $500, $450.
Yeah.
It was at the mall. I like the blue around it. I have that watch to this day.
Nice.
What goals have you set? Are you rewarding yourself for achieving certain goals? Those things all matter when you're coming into sales and then never giving up.
It's true, man. And you have to start somewhere. I got videos, man, on my YouTube channel that are private. Only I can see them. And I'm going to show them in a training. You know my story. We went from doing extremely good to losing a lot of money. The last network marketing company you and I worked together, they cut my check. Anyways, long story short, in about a year period, I lost like $1.3 million. And income, all kinds of shit. My wife and I talked to her, hey man, I need you to start working again. She had never worked since we were together. I remember I was knocking on doors selling home security systems, bro. From being a millionaire to losing it all, having my wife and I go out there and knock on doors to sell home security. Nothing wrong with that, but it was a big fall from grace. I remember recording a video saying, yep, just got a bunch of rejection. Nobody's opening the door. It gets, right now, because of the time change, it gets dark by 5 o'clock and nobody wants to open the door to my Mexican bald ass. You know what I'm saying? And, but this is fucking temporary. And I felt good while saying that, even though it was a bad day, I didn't make any sales, money was short. I remember, I recorded that in my car and saying, this is temporary and this is for the future, my future self, so I could look back on this and I'm going to train on this one day. Because I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt, making money, man, and being a champion and warring that shit up, it's like riding a bike. Once you know how to do it, you know how to do it. Like if you fucking lost everything right now, your skills, your mindset, and your work ethic is going to go out there and you're going to get it right back. Right now, right before we recorded this episode, I put on my Instagram story, I put, if all the money in the world was divided evenly into every citizen of the world, within 5 years, it'd be back to the original hands it was. Because
100%.
Yeah, because people don't know how that's why the average lottery winner is broke within 3 years. Because they got $1 million, but they're not a millionaire up here, right?
Right.
So when you acquire these skills, so guess what? Who are you hanging out with? What is your daily method of operation? Are you hanging out with bumps? Are you working on yourself? And are you putting in the shit that moves a needle every day? What moves a needle? Prospecting, talking to people, getting rejection, asking for the sale, giving your business card, setting up appointments, presenting, showing the plan. That's the stuff that moves a needle, man.
That's all the stuff that when we train on an 8-point system that you've taught me and we've learned, and we learned that from another company that had a ton of success. But at the end of the day, how do you get more points? By doing stuff that drives the business.
Yes.
Bro, like, just because I'm on social media or Instagram, and I'm not knocking, like, I know some guys who have massive success that are always on social media and Instagram. In fact, the number one recruiter in our company, if I brought him here, first of all, he has a phobia of being around a bunch of people. He gets like anxiety, right?
Oh, wow.
He's the number one recruiter on social media. Bro, if I brought him here, you wouldn't even think that this guy's the number one recruiter.
Really?
Totally somebody that doesn't fit the bill. That's what's crazy. But that goes to show you that somebody that's hungry, that's found another way to have massive success. To have massive success, you have to have massive action.
That's right.
It can't be massive success with half-ass effort. It can't be a billionaire a success story with a minimum wage work ethic. Not gonna happen, bro. At the end of the day, what are you doing that drives the needle? Like you said, what are you doing that's pushing the business? What are you doing that is business-related activities now?
Right.
Right? If you're struggling, you can't afford to spend 6 hours in personal development. Sorry, you can't.
It's true.
If you're struggling,
That's a trap. There's a personal development trap, man.
it's a trap, bro. I see so many people that have fallen into it, and even with sales guys, I see so many sales guys that because they go to the office, because they go to the routine, they fall into the trap. Look, everybody's not meant to be in sales. A true sales job where you don't get referrals, right? Where you got to go out and grind. That's not for the masses.
Right.
That's for the hardcore. That's for, if I was going to be in solar, I wouldn't want people just to give me a bunch of leads because that means they're probably paying me less than what I'm worth. Right? Reality, I want to get a group that can go out and generate business. How do you generate business? By building thick skin, by warrioring that shit up, by getting the rejections, by getting the no's, by and doing what you say you're going to do in front of everybody, doing it when nobody's there.
That's right.
You know?
Ooh, that's
like
powerful.
are you just one of those gum bumpers that, this is like, bro, we've all been there. We all been there. Yeah. Whether it's sales, whether it's in network marketing, I'm gonna be the #1 sales guy here. Trust me, bro. I'm gonna outwork all your people. Trust me. You ain't never had nobody in sales like what I got right here.
Right.
Bro, you got the man right now. And a week later, they're like, done. You know what I mean? Like, are you a gum bumper? Or are you the one who's gonna get, like, it's that old saying, if it was meant to be, it must have been up to me. Or if it's up to me, it must have been meant to be.
Right.
Because, like, look, I'm going to warrior that shit up and I'm going to go through it. Like, I'll never forget I've been around network marketing for a long time. My brother-in-law owned one of the world's largest travel network marketing companies there was. And I sat with you in a Denny's for a coffee, drink, and I was sitting here like this. And you said, do you even know what residual income is? I was like, bro, did you not hear who I told you my brother-in-law is? And then you said, you must not owe, because you would run through a brick wall to get it, and you don't have it. And I was like, man, fuck this, right? Like, you hit me in my ego so hard. I was like, fuck, I just got done working like 14 hours that day.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. I mean, I'm still in my work clothes. You're dressed fresh. I'm like, I'm pissed. Like, I hadn't even got a haircut. I hadn't seen my family yet. And then you slapped the shit out of me, right? And I'm like, God dang it. Like, Jesus. But, like, it's real talk.
That's right.
Do you warrior that shit up every day? Are you going to work every day? It's easy to want. What the fuck are you doing to get it? Period. End of story. I tell my son and my kids this every day. And I told my baseball players this too. It's not good enough to want something. There's always somebody out there that's going to outwork you. Period. In the story. There's somebody that's willing to put in more work than what you're willing to put in. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up, for the baseball players that are out there that are in my organization? Are you willing to give up PS5 time? Are you willing to give up some friend time? Are you out there hitting 100 balls no matter what? Are you taking ground balls no matter what? See, in the Dominican Republic, the reason why they put out more baseball players than anywhere else, because those fuckers work on it day in and day out. Their livelihoods depend on it. Yep. They're taking 200, 300 ground balls a day. They're swinging the bat 300, 400, 500 times a day. Okay, you want to be the #1 sales guy in the world? How many doors are you knocking on? How many people are you reaching out to? How are you prospecting? Oh, you got a fever? That shit stopped you? That shit doesn't stop them out there. Right. Oh, you got a headache? That shit doesn't stop them out there. You're hungry? They don't stop. They eat when they're done working out.
That's right.
They go to bed when they're done working out. We go to bed when we're tired.
That's right.
We go to sleep when we're tired. You're not hungry. You say you're hungry, you're not hungry.
That's right.
Are you doing it, bro? You know what I mean?
I love it, man. That's fire. Because I remember when I was taught to knock doors when I was 18 years old, no exaggeration, God is my witness. If it was pouring rain, we knocked.
Right.
8 hours Monday through Friday on the field, no matter what, and 6 hours on Saturday. And it was pouring rain, didn't matter. People literally felt sorry for us at the door. They were puzzled. They would see this 18-year-old kid at the door knocking. But what I was told is, hey, man, you want to be a manager? You want to have an office one day? Every day that you miss it, you don't go on the field, you're adding 3 weeks to the field. So if you miss a day, add another 3 weeks to your time on the field. And I said, F that. I'm going to knock. And it just taught to warrior up. But see, bro, the majority of people, man, they're snowflakes. The majority of salespeople are snowflakes. Yep. They're merely interested in success instead of committed. And committed people are going to do shit regardless, man. If I'm on 2 hours of sleep and I got an appointment to be here, I'm going to be here because Bottom line, I said I'm gonna be here, and that's the way that I'm created. That's my fiber. It's just my identity. And what people don't understand is that you're always shaping your identity. Your identity's been shaped, and you're always shaping it. Your identity is either that identity of a winner that, hey, Joseph said he's gonna be there and do this, consider it done. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
But most people, that's not what it is. Most people, oh, they said 10% of what he or she said is gonna get done.
Right.
You should probably consider that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, 100%, bro. That's good. That's real. You know, like today, for instance, I thought we were meeting at 9:30. That's my fault. So
Right.
I was actually late. But if I was 9:30, I was early. Right.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So I never show up on time. I hate being on time. Because if I'm on time, I feel like I'm late. I'm missing something. I always show up 5 to 7, 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
No matter what I do. That's just the way I've been brought up in the business. Show up early. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. Late never happens. Period.
Right.
In the story.
Right.
I got guys that come, they want to show up to meetings when we're halfway going through the presentation. I'm like, bro, you don't fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
You want to hit this next rank, you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Your work ethic doesn't deserve it. Your why must not mean shit to you because you're doing half-ass effort.
That's right.
And for me, even in the car industry, like I hated going home without a sale. Like, bro, that shit would. Then I feel like I went all day for what?
I know.
What do you do? So I went to work. Sorry, kids, I didn't see you all day, and guess what? I made shit.
Right.
Like, bro, that's like the worst. Like,
Yeah.
that's the worst feeling out there. So like, going to bed for me was when the job was done.
Right.
And whether it's sales, whether it's network marketing, in network marketing we call it recruiting. Sales, you're going to go out and look for the sale, right? Whether it's recruiting, whether it's prospecting, that's the number one activity to solve all your problems. You want to make more money? Recruit.
That's right.
You want to hit a new rank? Recruit. You want to make more sales? Prospect. You want to impress your bosses? Prospect more. You want to be the number one salesperson and get, probably there's bonuses with that? Prospect more. I wanted to be number one. For me, what drove us was we were on the billboard on the 10 freeway. I wanted to be up there. I wanted to be up there all the time.
Yep.
There was a time when I was up there 10 out of 12 months.
Wow.
Why? Because I prospected.
That's right.
I went out and prospected. You know, in the sales, in the car industry, in the internet, we would just follow up with emails. But how could you be different than everybody else out there? I would send the email and make a call, and then send up a follow-up email thanking them just for hearing me out.
Yep.
I was different than everybody else. I would tell them, come in and get a Starbucks card. Bro, why? I'd buy a $5 Starbucks card. Okay, I'd lose $5 maybe every now and then. Maybe lose $100 total.
Sure.
But in the end, make one sale, make a couple grand.
That's right.
So people would come in to see me because I was doing things different than what they were doing. Oh, you got your dog?Ring your dog with you. I'm gonna give your dog a biscuit. Bro, it was when I worked at the bank when I was younger, and I remember I asked the branch manager if I could bring blow pops, and I could bring dog biscuits when I worked the drive-through. She's like, why? I'm like, dude, our numbers are killing us on the drive-through. We're horrible. Let me just make it a little bit better experience for the people. I started giving blow pops out to the kids, if they had a dog in there, give a dog biscuit for the kids. Bro, our numbers went up like this. People would come and ask if I was working there just to come through there. It was crazy. Little things like that. What are you doing? And this for anybody in sales or network marketing. What are you doing to separate yourself from everybody else? What are you doing different? What is the little added touch to where you're making that person feel special? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be made feel special, right? So why am I going to choose you? Why am I going to choose your solar company over this person's solar company? Why am I going to choose your network marketing company over this person's network marketing company? Why am I going to buy this car from you or this car? There's a lady who I met in Oklahoma, Mary Beth. She's on my Facebook. She just sells more cars than almost anybody I've ever met in a month. She takes a picture with every freaking person that she sells the cars to, and it's on her social media. She gives her people a referral. And you're allowed to over there in Oklahoma. Here, it's kind of, you're not really allowed to do that. But she's able to do that out there for referrals. And even when they weren't allowed to do referrals over there, we call it throwing them a dog, right? Dog bone, right? Yeah. Even when she wasn't able to do that over there, she found a way to say, hey, you refer somebody to me, I'm going to get you X amount of dollars to our shop to go ahead and outfit your car with.
Nice.
Bro, who's not going to do that? I'll never forget this, JC. I lost a car dealership. I was selling a car to some Indians, right? Some San Manuel Indians on the Indian reservation. They had a lot of money, and our manager treated them like shit. These people could go and buy the car anywhere they want. Fucked up my sale. So they left. They went down the street. They bought a car from another dealership. I was so pissed. I told that manager ended up getting in trouble for doing that. It wasn't even like my direct manager. It was a different. My direct manager, when he found out, was pissed, right? Because they refer a lot of people if they're taken care of.
Yeah.
So even then, this is the power of making people feel special. Even then, when they left, because I knew, bro, they could refer people, and their people are going to buy cash. They don't give a fuck. They're going to, here's a check. I'm out of here. I just want the car. I sent them 2 key fob covers for their new Escalade. Some rubber. They were like rubber. It was like a new thing that was in.
Yeah.
Silicone thing. You put it over. So I sent them 2. She bought a car that happened to be a lemon. They returned it. Where do you think they came back to? The place that just sold them the car, where they had a great experience, or the sales guy who took time to send them a gift, even though they didn't buy a car from.
Right.
They came back to me. They wanted approval point to that manager. They not only bought 1 car, they bought 2.
Wow.
They bought 5 other people. I ended up selling 15 cars that day.
Oh, 15 in a day?
Cash.
Oh, shit.
Cash.
Wow.
Bro, that's the power of making somebody feel special. So if this is mainly sales, right? When you're in sales and you're doing the little things that other people in your industry aren't doing, you're going to get the business. You know?
That's powerful. That's powerful, man. And you never know, man. And see, luck favors the bold. Luck favors those that think outside the box. You know, sometimes you're going to do stuff that's not going to pay you right now, but you keep doing that stuff consistently. Eventually, sometimes people say, oh, you're lucky. Like people could say right now, bro, you're lucky, man. You get to travel, make a ton of money and travel for 3 weeks with your family. What they don't realize is that, no, I'm not lucky. I've been paying the price for a long ass time consistently when your ass wasn't willing to pay the price.
Right? To me, what is lucky? Lucky is when hard work and opportunity meet.
Right.
Preparation too. Add preparation in there too.
Yes.
Like people say you're lucky or this or that or whatever they say, bro. At the end of the day, here's the thing. You haven't been lucky because your ass ain't willing to sacrifice.
Correct.
Bro, there's times when I would go to work. I'll never forget when we started doing meetings in your office.
Yep.
I would go to work, be at work by 8 in the morning. People would meet me at my job to jump in my car so I could carpool them to go to your meeting.
Yep.
So then we could do the meeting and I could car them, pull them back to get home.
How long was that drive for you?
Huh?
How long was that drive for you?
Hour and 15.
Yep.
Hour 15 consistently. After working 8 to 10 hours a day already,
Yep.
Then turn around and go. And then sometimes I would even have to sacrifice half of a deal because I was willing to pay the price. So sometimes I would tell the person, hey, John, bro, I got this done deal. They're going to come in. All you got to do is walk them over to signing. You're going to get half of the commission.
Right.
I would be willing to give it up because I was showing up to the event.
Yes.
I was showing up. I was showing up. And at all costs, I'll never forget when I told my wife, hey, listen, I'm not going to see you for the next year of the family. And it wasn't like literally I'm not going to see them. But it was like I was already working when they would go to sleep.
Yeah.
I would already not see them a lot. I was going to work even that much harder. So even if I was home, I was going to lock myself in a room and I wasn't going to go to bed until I could be done prospecting. I was going to build a book of business that was going to follow me for the rest of my life. That's what I was committed to. We fast forward, I didn't take a full year and we were able to knock it out sooner than that. My point is this, I was willing to give up something. I was willing to sacrifice. Most people say they want it. They don't want it, bro. The first sign of adversity, because listen, in entrepreneurship, I've never met the lazy entrepreneur. I have the successful lazy entrepreneur. I have never met the billionaire that hasn't had to go through it when they were creating whatever they were creating, when they were building whatever they were building, when they were on their journey to success. There is obstacles. There is road bumps. There is times when it's gonna get hard, but that's when you got to warrior that shit up. You got to push through. I'll never forget what you told me one day. You said, and I was like, I always learn, don't complain to the downline, complain to your upline, bring your up. So I was talking to you one day, and it wasn't even complaining. I was just like, man, at a place where it was a struggle. And you said, reach back to your back. Oh, shit. You feel those little bumps in the middle of your back? I'm like, yeah. You're like, that's called a spine. It's for you to posture that shit up. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, bro, can you just have a shoulder for me to cry out? You know what I mean? Right. But look, it was that tough love that made it to where I haven't had to work a job since 2015.
Yeah.
I had so much success at the car industry, bro. This is a real story. I'll never forget. I was like, hell yeah. I'm going to quit July. I'm not going to work July 4th. It's going to be my first holiday weekend with my family. It's going to be July 4th, 2015. Put in my resignation. I was going to quit. The desk manager, who I love to this day, great guy, said, hey, listen, kid, I need you here on 4th of July. Do me a solid and work that weekend for me. After that, I get it. I worked that weekend. We would have like different things. Like you sell a red, white, and blue, you get 5,000 or 1,000, 1,500, whatever it was, bonus. You sell 3 cars. On top of that, there was 3 cars, you get a bonus. You do this, you get a bonus. You do all this. I quit, and that weekend I had made like $7 grand bonuses, not even including what the cars were going to pay.
Wow.
He said, I've never handed somebody money who made this kind of money that's quitting the same. I'm like, bro, it's the time. For me, it's time freedom. Like most people be like, damn, I still got it, I got to stay. But for me, I knew it was more. I was going to be able to impact more lives. I was going to be able to do more. But again, still grind, you know, and still make the money. You know, it's funny because I wanted to talk real quick. I was losing my train of thought. I wanted to touch on, remember when I created No 9 to 5? Now I see everybody hashtagging it, right?
Yes.
I was hashtagging that before everybody because that was true for me.
Right.
Like it wasn't something I was talking about. It wasn't something that I was trying to did after the fact. This shit was real for me. I wanted to get out of there. And I remember hashtagging that. Nobody remembers, only you do, but nobody remembers the grind. And I got videos and stuff where I was like, yep, it's 4 a.m, left the house, kids were asleep. Yep, driving to the Downey office to go do a meeting. Same day. Yep, getting home, it's 2 a.m. Yep, got up at 6 a.m, redid the whole thing again. Kids are still asleep. They haven't went to school yet. Like I did that shit over and over and over and over. And now we're able to do. And just because we have success now, you still work your ass off.
Yep.
Bro, you're here. You're probably going to do some sales calls today.
Yep.
It's different. Like I hate when I see people wear the shirt that says self-made. Now, if you're a sales guy and you're self-made, fuck it. I get it. Rock that shit all you want.
Yeah.
But if you're a network marketing, then you ain't self-made. You've had mentors that helped you along the way.
That's right.
You have a team that's helped you get. If you're without your team, let's see how self-made you are with no team.
That's right. That's right.
Like, you got to show gratitude. You got to show love. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
Your team got to know that you're there for them. Like, there's been times when I have flown to an event, I rented a room, my whole team slept on the bed and I slept on the floor, and they used my car to get there. And the only reason why I bought the flight is because too many people couldn't buy the flight, and so I had to let them borrow my car because they didn't have a car to get them there. You know, we found a way no matter what. And so, you know, I know we're getting close to wrapping up, but in sales, in network marketing, when you're able to love, put people in profit, put people over profits, when you're able to show people love, no matter what, whether they're helping build your business, they're going to remember that.
Yep, it's true.
You never know who's going to give you that referral. You never know who's going to give you.
That's right.
Most people, again, there's a lot of these, like the people in solar that sell, but you're not building that relationship.
Yep.
You're not building that person up. How the hell do they know how to love on somebody to ask for the referral? They don't know how to. It's irrelevant. It goes back to working smarter, not harder.
Right.
Right. If you have 5 people that you sold this month, that's 5 people that all know somebody.
Yes.
Or 2. So now you're going to go your normal 5 plus 5 more. Now you're at 10. That duplicates one more time. We're at 20 sales.
Yep.
In a month.
Yep.
That duplicates one more time. If you did 40 solar sales this month,
right,
you're making a lot of money.
Yep.
It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen overnights.
Right.
But it will happen if you work it consistently, consecutively, long enough.
That's powerful. No, man, listen, this was absolutely fire. One more thing that I want to ask you is, you're raising great kids, you and your wife, incredible parents, and that's one of the things that I admired about you since I met you. And one of the things that I wanted to model myself, because, you know, you met me when I was a single guy before I was even dating my wife. And so, and one of the things that I see is that, you know, some of your kids, they're in sports and stuff, right? Yeah. So what advice would you give, or what is your input on sports and raising your kids in sports and the impact that it has on kids?
I think it's massive. I think it's huge. It teaches them how to work well with others. It teaches them for life. Yeah. Like, reality is this, like, My son, my daughters, they have goals in their sports, in their events. That shit doesn't happen by coincidence. Like nobody's, you want to play a certain position, you got to work your ass off. You want to be up in the lineup, you got to work your ass off. If you want to make a certain team for cheer, you got to work your ass off. I always give my daughter a hard time. I would always mess around. Cheer is not a sport. Cheers, bro. To see my daughter works her ass off. To see the learning how to do a backflip the right way on a dead floor, because your wrist don't get jammed. Learning all the little things takes time, takes commitment. But when you're able to teach your kids at a young age, team sports, discipline, work ethic, not quitting, going after it. When adversity hits, do you give up? Like teaching them life lessons at such a young age is power, bro. It's so huge. And we've been blessed because of this industry to be able to put our kids in the best sports. And I've created a baseball program, bro. To be honest with you, we've created a baseball program where if parents can't afford it, we pick up the bill. They don't have to. Wow. They don't have to pay for it.
That's awesome.
We pride ourselves. There's programs out there that they talk about. They're doing it the right way. They're doing this and they're doing that, and they're charging $300 a month. If you're the average household can't afford an extra $300 a month just to put their kid in a freaking sport. So we're able to do it for half that price. We got the best trainers. We have a couple kids that are going to go out and they're juniors this year, but next year they'll both go straight to the pros. Probably in the top 4 rounds. One of them is a kid who, I love this story. It's a kid who's he's raised by a single mom. At the beginning of the year, we weren't sure where this kid was going to go to school. Not because of grades. Kid has a 4.2. Bro, he could go to any school he wants to, but the biggest thing is he wanted to play sports. He wanted to play baseball. Perfect school for him is like a New Mexico State, somewhere like that, where somebody doesn't, like a college where people that commit probably aren't going to the pros, right? I'm not saying that it can't happen.
Right.
But most like those are guys that try to recruit people that they know that are going to end up going to that school no matter what.
Right.
And then from there, if they make it to the pros, great. So we had this guy named Nick out there working his ass off. He's 6'5". Hadn't really got comfortable with his body. Been with our program or with his coach that's in our program now since he was 10. Mom's a single mom, works 3 jobs, 3 kids. Sometimes could afford the bills, sometimes couldn't afford the bills. You know how it is.
Yep.
Over the last 8 months, watching this kid's body develop to where he's comfortable with it. Tried out for the area code games. Killed it. We got agents calling us talking about crazy money when he gets out of school. First at bat, he's batting right-handed, hits a ball 422 feet, 105 exit velo. People are like, what the fuck is this kid doing? Next at bat, they put in a righty pitcher. He goes to bat left-handed, hits it 455 feet, 111 exit velo. Every agent out there is fighting over this kid now. You heard what I said? 8 months ago, this kid wasn't, we were worried about where he's going to go.
Right.
Work ethic, perseverance, a why, anything could happen, bro.
That's powerful.
Anything could happen. And so we the sports, I believe, is big, bro. It keeps kids out of trouble, teaches them about commitment, teaches them about teamwork, teaches them about goal setting. There's so many different things, bro. Yep. I love it. I'm a big believer in it. Obviously, your son's in sports, and you have different goals set for him to hit different ranks in his jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. And that's teaching him at a young age. I see your son out there from the moment that he was first throwing his 1-2s to where he's at now, seeing him twist his body with his punches, and that's all. That shit didn't happen overnight. And now he's coming to you and saying, Dad, I want to do this.
Right.
That's when you're going to see, mark my words, Max is destined for greatness. Brody's destined, Haley, Jolene, they're destined for greatness because of the work ethic that we're teaching them at such a young age.
That's right. Yeah, I'm a big component for sports, and I think sports is a great way to. For me, it helped me out a lot. It's helping my kids, helping your kids, and so that's for me. One of the things is to be a great parent. My wife and I think we do a pretty good job of that, and we put God first, and we teach them the values because we often hear this day and age, hey, let's leave a better planet for our kids, which is true, and I believe that's what we're doing in the solar industry. But how about leaving better kids for this planet as well? Because this fucking indoctrination system that exists right now, especially in the public school system, is an indoctrination system that is teaching kids some far out, outrageous shit. And so now that's why the parenting though has to be, and the information out there to raise stronger kids and stuff is better, is available.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to ask this question on the podcast, especially when I see people that are doing a great job of raising their kids, because there's also parents that are listening to this information, man. Yeah. But anyways, man, this was a great interview, bro. I appreciate you coming on the podcast, my brother. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad that we got to hang out. And we got to hang out with the family soon, too, bro.
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely. Let's go on vacation somewhere.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
Let's go hang out in a pool.
Let's do it. I know, bro. I know. We're due for that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you guys watching this. I know that you guys got some value. There was a lot of things that as I'm going through this interview, I'm thinking, man, that was valuable. Man, that was valuable. So make sure you share this episode, like it, comment it. And with that being said, I'll see you guys at the top or from the top. Take care.